Hello and welcome to this episode of the Reset Podcast. I'm your host, Laura Mignell, and this is part of my 29 Days of Magic series where I interview a Black woman a day for 29 straight days. And I am so delighted to have Naydja Cojoe, who is a entertainer, community health advocate, and just all-around amazing diva. I am delighted to have her on the show. I can't wait for you all to hear her story. Take a listen.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well. I know it's cold all around the country right now. I hope everybody's taking necessary precautions to stay warm.
Yes, it's freezing here in New York. It's February here in New York, the way it's so cold. Now, first question,
hmm
always entertaining, and the answers are always amazing. I'm sure yours will be no different. What was your first job?
My first job, I worked at a place called Skate Country. Yeah, I am an avid skater and have been for a very long time. I started really young, and oddly enough, my first job was at the skating rink when I was 14, 15, something like that. And I still skate to this day, so that's one of my things.
A roller skate or ice skate?
Roller. No,
Oh,
we don't have ice in this part of the country. Not in
I
this,
was like, wait, hold on.
not here
Roller
in New
skate.
Orleans anyway. We don't
Hey,
have any
that's
more ice here like that.
You never know. I mean, things could be
Mm.
interesting somewhere, but very cool. It's interesting. There's been this sort of resurgence in roller skating in the last few years of like Usher owning a rink and some other things. So that's really cool to see that yeah, you like never stopped. Always been doing this.
Oh, and speaking of Usher, I was not really like I liked him as an entertainer, but like when I saw he was a skater, like his stock went up way high. Like
Like,
Usher's a skater. Oh my God! Oh, I love him now. So not that he needs me, but I
listen,
just
everyone counts in this in the fandom.
that's
So,
true. That's true.
all right, so we go from working at the skate rink to where we are now. What's
Mm.
that career journey been like?
Oh boy, it's been rather interesting throughout my life. I've always known that I would be on stage. I've always known that I would sing. I've always known that I would entertain. I just didn't know that the route was going to be as interesting as it's been. Now let's see if I can hit some key points and then come to current day. Okay, so as a young child, I've always sang throughout school. The older I got, there's always all these talent shows and things like that. And I've started winning more and more and more. And then I got older, moved away from New Orleans in 1988. I'm dating myself. I left here in 1988, moved to the Bay Area, worked at Travis Air Force Base in Fairfield, California. Moved from there to Dallas, Texas. Started doing radio and all sorts of things like that. Ended up meeting Mel Waiters, who's no longer with us now. He's an ancestor now, and start singing background for him, which helped cultivate so many other things. Then fast forward, moved home in 2008 and started meeting different celebrities here in the New Orleans area. They embraced me, bringing me on to different events and different venues with a lot of them. And the next thing you know, I have my own band, and years have gone by. I'm doing really well, newspaper articles, movies. I've been in several movies and things like that. Who knew that that would happen? 2 years ago, I became the newest member of the iconic group, the Dixie Cups, which is how I met you. We were at a pre-Super Bowl event, so there you go.
So I love
And
how you just, like I sing here, a little bit of this, a little of that. You are not tooting your horn the way you should, homegirl.
I get that a lot. I get that a lot. I'm sure you're familiar with the poet Sonny Patterson.
Yeah, of course.
So Sunny's a really good friend of mine, and she always says she first of all she doesn't call me Naja, she calls me Madge, which is a hilarious story. But she'll always say, Madge, you give everybody so much grace. You don't show yourself the same grace you show everybody else, and I have yet to figure out how to get to that point. I just I just move and do and be in the moment. Made a lot of mistakes in my life, like everybody, and I try to see the good in everybody the best way that I can. And I just love to sing. I love to perform. I love to entertain. Yeah,
Well, you have an amazing.
I've grown a lot, but I've been blessed to have two conversations with Patti LaBelle, and I walked away with something that she said to me. I think that's one of my leads in my life. She said, never let what you do change who you are. So I try to keep my feet planted firmly on the ground. Never lose sight of who I am, where I come from, and that I'm just the same as anybody else. I just happen to sing for a living, and I'm not the only one. There's a whole lot of us. So, to whom much is given, much is required.
Mhm.
And I try to do the work. I work in the community, and I don't show myself the grace that I show others, but I'm working on it.
Okay, work in progress. Listen, we are all a work in progress.
Mhm.
That is totally okay and all good. So yeah, talk to me about what it was like to kind of join into a legendary group. Because I remember hearing about Dixie Cups from my parents. It was a delight meeting you ladies at the event in New Orleans. But for folks who may not know, could you give us little bit of background?
Well, the Dixie Cups was formed in 1964, and the original members are Rosa and Barbara Hawkins, their sisters, and Joan, their cousin Johnson, Joan Marie Johnson. Miss Rosa and Miss Joan have all both transitioned. Miss Barbara is the remaining original member. Myself and the newest member, her name is Ellen Hazur. To be a part of an iconic group like this, so let's go back to 2 years ago. So I'm celebrating my second year anniversary with the Cups this month, and I I get the call from Miss Barbara, and she says, I'm paraphrasing something to the effect of, "This is Barbara Hawkins, and I'm calling you because I want to talk to you about becoming a Dixie Cup." And I said, "Okay, temporarily for some to cover someone else." And she said, "No, permanently." So I hit the mute button on my phone and I'm screaming to the top of my lungs. She can't be serious. Maybe I'm being punked. Ashton Kutcher's on the other end of this call. And I said, "Are you serious, Miss Barbara?" She goes, "Yes, I am." And there's several people that referred me to her that are here. One is a local musician by the name of Gerald French. And I accepted it. She flew me out to Tampa where she lives. And I had rehearsal for a week, and she taught me all the material, and it's 2 years in. We have a commercial running now for a company, the Papaya Marketing Group. We've done several different festivals, the Jazz and Heritage Festival here in New Orleans, the French Quarter Fest, and the Danny Barker Fest, all here in New Orleans, and it's just unreal. Like, it's very surreal. 2 weeks ago, we were on stage with the Temptations and the Four Tops. So it's pretty interesting being in this arena and meeting the founders of these groups, the Temptations, Mr. Otis, and I can't think of his name in the Four Tops right now. It's only one of each remaining. So it's really surreal. It's really surreal, and it's a whole new generation of all of these groups. The I don't think there's anybody in the spinners right now. I'm not 100% sure, but the Four Tops, the Temptations, the Dixie Cups, and the not Confunction. Oh, what's the name? I can't think of the name of it right now. But the new generations are coming along with these groups, so it's rather interesting. Yeah, so
No.
it's pretty interesting to be the next generation of these iconic groups. It's I would have never in my life thought that I would end up in this position. I never would. We met Hoda Copy and Jenna Bush. They were here for Jazz Fest last year, and when we walked off stage, I'm friends with Hoda Copy's best friend. Her name is Karen, and I saw Hoda. I said, "Hey, how are you?" And she goes, "Hi." I said, "I'm friends with your bestie." And she said, "Who's my bestie?" And I said, "Karen." And she turns around and she says, "There she is, right there." So I said, "Hey, girl." She goes, "Oh my God, Naija." And when she did that, Hoda did the same thing. "Oh my God, Naija." And the cameras came out of everywhere. There were cameras all over the place. And we were like, "Oh, wow." So here it is. Karen says Naija is the newest member of the Dixie Cups, and Miss Barbara and Miss Athelgra walked up. Miss Athelgra is no longer working with us. She was retired. She said she was tired, so we have Ellen now. So cameras are coming, they're rolling, pictures are being taken, and they're walking up and they were like, "This is the Dixie Cups." And she said, "Oh my God, I love your music. Oh, I've been singing these songs. I sing them with my kids." Da da da. So she's like, "Sing Chapel." So we're standing there and everybody is singing Chapel of Love. And it ended up on the morning show with them. So that was really interesting. It's mind blowing to say the least. So it's a beautiful experience. It's a really beautiful experience. I would have never thought that. If somebody had asked me at the age of 10, "Do you know this song?" "Yeah." "You'll be singing with that group when you grow up." And be like, "Yeah, right." But
Wow.
here I am.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And like, because again, you don't realize you're in it until you're like really in it. And then some folks are like, wait a minute, hey, you're the group.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah. Isn't that something?
That's beautiful. So talk to me about a time when you had a challenge where you're like, there's no way I'm gonna figure this out. And then you did.
Well, I can tell you this. Back in 2000, maybe 10, I think, I decided I wasn't singing anymore. I literally said, "That's it, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I've had it. I'm not doing it." And I was talking to my dad and I said, "Daddy, I just can't do this anymore. This business is just, I can't do it. I just can't do it anymore." And with tears in his eyes, he said, "Baby, if you do this, you're gonna make a big mistake. Don't do this. I think you'll be doing yourself a disservice if you stop now." And I just bawled. I was like, "I can't do it. I can't do it." It's like sometimes you just feel so beaten,
Hmm.
and you feel like just throwing in the towel. Like, here's the white flag. I quit. I quit. And I remember I think I was still living in Dallas at that time when I made that statement. And then fast forward from there, I was on the stage at Jazz Fest, headlining under my own name. And the audience that day, I said, "Oh my God, this is so surreal that I'm standing here." And I said the story that I just said to you. And I said, "And here I am. I'm headlining at Jazz Fest." And that's just amazing. It's just amazing.
And what's for you is for you, and it won't pass you by.
Yeah. Yeah. And here I am. It's 2025 and looking forward to some really amazing things to happen this year as well. Hoping that the stars are all aligned perfectly and that the road rises to meet my feet. I'm trying to do my best because I do work in the daytime as well. So, my work means a lot to me. I work in the community a lot. I'm an advocate for survivors of domestic violence, disabled veterans, and the elderly. I do a lot of music therapy for dementia patients and people with developmental disabilities. So I do a lot. I do a lot, and
Stay busy.
I'm very grateful. I'm very, very grateful. You'd be surprised at how much music heals in a way that's just unbelievable. It's amazing to me that I could be in a room with patients that have full blown dementia. They can't tell you their name, they don't recognize anyone in their family, they have no idea what day or month or year it is. But if I start singing My Girl, they know it word for word.
Word for word, right?
What without stopping. If I sing, My Guy or something, they sing these songs and you would never think looking at them the way they interact musically. that they have those conditions. It's something else. It's really something else. I pray that someday somebody discovers what causes dementia. What is the cause of it? What's the root cause of it, and how it can be altered? Because it is really something to see someone disappear right in front of you, and they're still alive, and they don't know you. So,
Yeah,
but that.
I've had a couple of relatives go through that, and it's unbelievably heartbreaking. But then when you have those moments
Mm-hmm.
of light where they remember or they start to sing, uh,
Mm-hmm.
it changes absolutely everything.
Mm-hmm. It's a mind. If you ever have some time, go to a geriatrics unit somewhere. If you know anybody that may be in the facility or something like that, or maybe work and just sit there and talk to them, their long term memories, a lot of them, is completely intact. They can tell you the day of something that happened in 1963. Do you know I had on a green polka dot dress and I wore this and I had such and I had lunch and tea and so and so and so and so. Remember everything so vividly, and then every aspect of their current situation, no clue, completely separated from it. But they smile and they make you feel so happy. It'll put your life in perspective, that's for sure.
It 100% does. So
Yeah.
you do all this amazing, wonderful work, and your voice is your vessel for good. What do you do for your self-care?
Oh, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I hear Sunny in my head right now. Madge, you need to do some yoga. I need you to do some breath work. Breath is life, Madge. Stop looking for yourself and other people, Madge. If you get a chance to interview Sunny, I would suggest you do so. She's amazing. She's amazing. I'm trying to take care of myself. I like to walk.
Good.
I go out on the lakefront and I take walks. I have a stationary bike in my house. I ride that. I try to do yoga as often as I can. I go to an acupuncturist,
Very cool.
and yeah, I'm trying.
You try it. All right. Well,
I'm
we'll take
trying. I'm
that.
trying.
We'll take it.
I'm trying.
What advice do you think you'd have for your 18-year-old self?
My 18-year-old self, oh boy, leave the country, go away, follow your dreams, go ahead and go overseas. Make sure you learn 15 different languages. It's time for you to move around. No, I don't know what I would say to my 18-year-old self. That was a very confused young woman. She she didn't know that she could survive a lot of things that she survived now. You don't realize when you're young that it'll pass, you'll get through it.
Hmm.
It's temporary. It's temporary, and give yourself some time. Don't take everything so serious. Some of the friends you have in high school, you'll never see again. So, try not to take everything that they say at face value. Work hard for yourself, do good for others, but also take.
I think that's great advice. And especially the doesn't matter what those folks are saying now.
It has no relevance at all at this
Un-
point.
yeah.
Zero. Zero. They will not matter. Actually, they don't matter now, you know? They didn't matter then, and they certainly won't matter in 10 years.
At all.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we don't realize that we're going to live through this. We're going to get through this. This is so temporary. This is so, so temporary. It,
Blow it
it
up like,
just,
oh my God, it's all this, the world's ending. Like, no, it's not.
no, it's not. And there's so many people that make so many really finite decisions at such a young age. Things that take a turn for the worse. I feel fortunate that I've made it thus far. I'm a little over 21 now. So, just just grateful. Just really grateful.
I love it. So, do you have a give and or an ask of the audience? And so this can be some advice, a recommendation for a book, where you guys are next performing for folks to come and see, hear you all sing, like whatever you'd like it to be.
Okay, so get ready for festival season in New Orleans. If you're in surrounding areas, look for the Danny Barker Festival, which is March 23rd. March 20th, I think that's March 23rd. And then Jazz Fest and French Quarter Fest. Jazz Fest is the last weekend in April, the first weekend in May every year, so it's easy to remember. French Quarter Fest is April 10th through the 13th. And Danny Barker Fest is March 23rd, like I said. We got all that stuff happening. And what was the other question you said? Something to come see me sing and
Well, it's a
something
give
else.
or an ask. It doesn't have to be both. You can just pick one. So, like, come and see you at the Jazz Fest, then we will make sure folks know to come see you at the Jazz Fest.
Absolutely. If you're coming to New Orleans, come on down, have some fun. Bring some looser pants because I'm sure you'll probably gain a few pounds while you're here.
I don't know what you're talking about. You mean really good food there? I have no idea what you mean.
Oh, honey.
Oh my gosh.
And definitely make sure to connect with somebody that's from here that lives here that can point you out to the real places to go and eat
Oh my
to
gosh.
get the
I
real.
ate so much food when I was there a couple weeks ago. I was like, every time I go to New Orleans, like I know where to go and not to eat too much. Oh well, never mind. Forget. I just ate everything. So
That's the take. Don't worry about it. Just come and enjoy yourself. Life is short.
no,
Don't hold yourself hostage over some
exactly.
food.
Yeah,
Mm,
I no longer complain about this. I'm like, yeah, we're good. I'm just gonna make it
yeah.
happen. It'll be good.
My my cousins left yet this morning to go back to Chicago. They were here for 4 days. I took them to Acme Oyster House on Tuesday night. Oh my God. You talk about hilarious. Oh my God. It's funny when people come from other places and they see things that we eat like, what is that? Oh my God. It looks, no, I can't eat that.
I
Like,
can't eat
taste it.
that. And then you're like, oh my
Ta-
God, it's amazing.
Taste it, taste it, taste it. So taste and see. And one of them, she ate char-grilled oysters and she loved it. I took them to get beignets last night. They loved that before they left. And just, open up the world to new experiences. Last summer, I went to Japan and I ate everything that wasn't nailed down. So, you know, uh,
You gotta enjoy it.
you
Again,
gotta enjoy it.
gotta enjoy it. Last question for you.
Hmm.
What's one thing that brings you joy? Uh,
Roller skating and DIYs. When the pandemic began, a monster was created. I literally redid the inside of my house
oh boy.
all by myself, and I had a blast. People were like, "Oh, I'm going crazy in this house. I can't take it. I gotta get out of here. Help me, please." And people will call me and go, "Nasha, what are you doing?" "Oh, I'm cleaning out the closet." "Who's there with you? What's all that noise?" "It's the TV. I have the music on." And da, da, da. I cleaned out all of the closets. I mean, everything. I took all of the appliances out of the kitchen and painted the kitchen and put in new light fixtures. I took everything out of the bathroom and redid the bathroom. New vanity, new countertop, new paint, new light fixtures, everything, new shelving. Oh my God, I had the best time. I really did. Like, I really, really did. It was like, this is all the stuff that I wanted to do that I never have time to do. So oh my God, I had the best time all by myself. Me, the TV, and the radio.
And you're like, I'm just gonna make this place look as fabulous as possible. And
And it really does. And I'm quite proud of myself. I really, really am. I actually invented something, and I've got to find somebody to. I think I can't go on that what is it, the invention TV show, because they'll take it.
oh, Shark Tank.
Shark Tank. That I can't do that, but I need to find someone somewhere that would be willing to invest in this, what I developed. It is absolutely awesome. I would love to tell you, but I can't. I
Let's
cannot
talk
do
after
that.
we stop recording. Let me see if I can point you in the right direction, my friend, because
Hmm.
I have friends everywhere. But I love this, and I adore you. Meeting you ladies was one of the highlights of my trip last week, and then bumping into you again at that amazing whiskey tasting, where I was like,
Yeah.
that place, again, one of the most unbelievable sights I've ever seen, and New Orleans just continues to always surprise me. I always find new and like surprising places whenever I
Hmm.
go. It's about my 10th trip to New Orleans. Yeah,
Hmm.
every single time I'm like, yep, that's crazy. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
new. Oh
It
wow, this
it
food.
was
Yeah.
it was really a nice event. It was good to see Ron. It's been 100 years. I think back in maybe 2001 or 2002 when I first met Ron, he hired me. I was actually going to be one of his background vocalists. So I would have been working with Ron Isley, who knows, probably all this time. But it wasn't to be. The lady that he's now married to, Miss Candy, and her sisters were singing with him. And they were going to go off and promote their own project. They had been working with another artist who had developed their project, and the deal was that they were supposed to go and he would be on the road doing his thing, and he was looking for three new background vocalists, and he hired me. I was one of them,
Wow.
but because theirs didn't pan out the way they quite wanted it to, they ended up staying with him.
Oh, well,
Isn't that cool?
it was meant to
It
be, was
was,
meant to be, and
yeah, it was really good to see him.
yeah. Like I said, it was such a delightful evening, full of so many surprises. Uh,
Hmm.
you've just been such a delight. I'm so glad I was able to get you on the podcast. I got your number and called you back. See, told you.
Yep. And
Um,
thank you. I really, sweetie, you never know who you're gonna meet. When you're out, especially in this city, everybody's always here. You can leave literally. I've gone to the grocery store and Lorenz Tate was walking through the grocery store buying food. Gone to Walgreens and Annie Potts was in Walgreens. Like on a gig, and you got people walking in. Reese Witherspoon walked in to one of my gigs and sat down with some of her friends. So, New Orleans is real an inviting city, and we hug and hey baby, how you doing? We speak to everybody and we don't freak out when we see celebrities. So people are usually really comfortable here and a lot of them move about on their own. The guy Isaac Washington, he's walked around here quite a bit. Frankie Beverly, before he passed away, you find him anywhere. Like literally, he would be all over the city.
oh, I'm
Back when he
sure.
was moving on his own and things, he'd be here everywhere. Oprah was seen up at Whole Foods Uptown shopping. Her and one other person. It's just this is an inviting place. Sandra Bullock lives here. Lawrence Fishburne lives here. Um, Beyonce had a house here. From what I was told, that the house burned. Like there was a fire. She was living in the Lower Garden District, and the house burned. Not sure what happened with that, but Clark Peters was living here at one point. Um, and we have so many celebrities that hail from this city that live here. So
It's a
it's
wonderful town. It's one of my favorite cities.
it's a wonderful town on the Mississippi River. It's the easiest going place ever, and we're always open. Like 7-Eleven, we're always open.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast and sharing your story and your wonderful memories and the importance of just keep it moving and also just you never know where you're going to end up. So it's always good to just smile and chat with folks.
That's true.
Thank you so much for being a part of 29 Days.
Thank you, Laura. It's been a pleasure.
Likewise, we'll put all these in the show notes for folks to find out where you guys are performing next, to come hear your beautiful voices. And thank you for being part of 29 Days of Magic. That
29 Days of Magic.
is our show.